And hey, how's it going? It is all the news all the time. Yes, it is. My name is Felix. Yes, it is. I'm Felix, and I've got some interesting news today coming from the Telegraph, the UK news website of the year, and they're saying, what are they saying? They meow rather than answer a question. The school children now identifying as animals. Okay, why not indeed? Why? In fact, why? Thought we would look into this. As I'm a cat myself, I thought this would be kind of interesting and up my litter box. Difficult as it may be to believe, children at a school in East Sussex were reprimanded last week for refusing to accept a classmate's decision to self-identify as a cat. Okay. Okay. The Year 8 pupils were told they would be reported to senior leadership after their teacher said they had really upset their fellow pupil by telling them you're a girl. Because you can really upset girls by telling them they're girls, it seems. The incident at Rye College, first reported by the Daily Telegraph yesterday, was not a one-off. Of course it wasn't. Inquiries by this newspaper have established that other children at other schools are also identifying as animals, and the responses of parents suggest that the schools in question are hopelessly out of their depth on the question of how to handle the pupils' behaviour. The Telegraph has discovered that a pupil at a secondary school in South West is insisting on being addressed as a dinosaur. Yeah, why not? I mean, if you can be a cat, if you can be a boy if you're a girl if you're a boy, an aardvark, a lampshade, why not a dinosaur? I mean, because dinosaurs are cool. Which dinosaur? Leave a note in the comment which dinosaur you identify with. I'm going to be Triceratops. It's a personal favourite. At another secondary school, pterodactyls are good, they fly. At another secondary school in England, a pupil insists on being identifying as a horse. Indeed so. Another wears a cape and wants to be acknowledged as Amun. See, this is why we should take all these wishes so seriously and give them all the value and worth that they clearly deserve. Stories about children self-identifying as animals, sometimes referred to as furries. I think that's something else. That's something else. We'll look into that in a second. Have been circulating for some time. Some of them, such as tales of schools providing litter trays to cater for children identifying as cats. No, please. Come on now. Stop messing about. Have turned out to be hoaxes. Only time will tell. Which has made it all too easy to assume that the problem is either a myth or wildly exaggerated. I'd love there to be litter trays. But how can you? If someone's a cat, they need a litter tray. But what if they're a dinosaur? Do they have a bigger litter tray? What if they're a lampshade? Do you have to plug them in? One student wears a cape, wants to be acknowledged as the moon or a moon. Can we claim that person as sovereign territory? I don't know, but it is not difficult to find genuine examples of children in UK schools insisting on being addressed as animals, raising two important questions. Why is it happening? How should teachers respond? If a person is a cat, they're not human, so you can actually own them as property. I'm sure that's getting into some very dubious territory immediately, and I'm going to walk away, walking away from that quickly. But if you're a lampshade, yeah, you're also property, aren't you? Yeah. If you're non-human, you lose a lot of rights and such and so forth. But there you go. Insisting on being addressed as that. Two important questions. Why is it happening? How should teachers respond? They should respond as actual common sense humans, not the lefty liberal nutjobs that they are. Perhaps tellingly, the incident at Rye College, a Church of England school, happened at the end of a class on life education, I see, in which children were told, indoctrinated, by their teacher that there were lots of genders, no, there's two, including agender, people who don't believe that they have a gender at all. No, this is not possible. See, in my personal opinion, I'm going off topic a bit here, but in my personal opinion, gender is the expression and behaviour of a person that is generated or derived from their biological reality of being either male or female. It's not something you can pretend. You behave like a female because you live in a female body, you live in this society as a female. The same thing with males. You behave in a male way because you have a male body, and you live in a male world, and you exist in society. So these are not conscious behaviours. These are subconscious and instinctive behaviours, which we call gender. And people say that it can change gender, but those genders they change to seem to be very superficial, a pretense, as it were, a mockery, or a putting on an act of what they think the opposite gender is, but they don't have the deep reality of being that sex, which is the important bit. You need to be male in a male world with a male body, and then you behave in a male way, and you can't behave any other way. And if you try to pretend to be female, it becomes a mockery and a facade and a sham, and very superficial. But this is my personal opinion. So what are we looking at here? There are lots of genders, including agender, people who don't believe they have a gender at all. Well, of course they do. Everybody has gendered behaviour, which is derived from their existence as having a biological reality of either male or female. So you do have a gender, you do behave in a certain way. You can't say you don't, because everything you do has gendered expression. So this is, in my opinion, this is a lie. An argument ensued in which two pupils disagreed with the teacher. Well, that's brave. You're not allowed to disagree with the indoctrination. Saying that there's no such thing as agender. Exactly so. Because if you have a vagina, you're a girl, and if you have a penis, you're a boy. That's it. So you're not allowed to say things that are sensible and rational and reasonable. Not in this country and not in this world. You've got to believe that people can be cats, dinosaurs, lampshades, and all sorts of other crazy things. And if you say anything sensible, you are immediately attacked as being a fascist bigot. When the pupils told their classmate, "How can you identify as a cat when you're a girl?" Good questions. Good, in my personal opinion, good questions from the pupils who know how to ask questions. The teacher reprimanded them. How does this work? For questioning the child's identity. You've got normal, rational human beings sort of fighting against indoctrination from responsible adults who are in a position of authority over them, and they're having to fight against this age disparity, against this power disparity. And then this so-called teacher, a person who's meant to teach people stuff, is telling them that you can identify as a cat. You can be a cat, a dinosaur, a lampshade, the colour purple, the smell of cut grass on a Tuesday. Why not? Well, why not? Because it's not true. That's why not. It's not true. So can you stop lying for a while and teach people actually facts? But anyway, this is my personal opinion, and obviously I'm not allowed an opinion because I'm not under the indoctrination plan. So I failed to pay my subscription to be under the indoctrination plan. How can you identify as a cat when you're a girl? The pupils asked in an incredibly rational, reasonable way. The teacher reprimanded them for questioning lunatic ideology. In this instance, the teacher in charge of the class, see, that's the problem. There's your problem right there, mate. The teacher in charge of the class appears to have bracketed a child's desire to be treated as a cat with other children's desire to be treated as another gender or genderless. You can't be genderless. It doesn't work. Yeah, like everybody has a pattern of behaviour which relates to their biological reality, and anything else is just a superficial affectation. The school, which does not dispute the incident happened, said it was committed to inclusive education. Yeah, there's your problem right there, mate. But would be reviewing our processes, this is what we call Weasley words, to ensure such events do not take place in the future, they said from the Ministry of Re-Education. The school then seems to have accepted that the teacher in question was wrong. Well, clearly, they're just so far left. It's horrific all the time. But it's hardly surprising if teachers find themselves struggling to make sense of the fast-paced societal changes. They're not really societal changes. It's an acceptance of what is essentially incorrect and bizarre statements that have been given too much credence. It's like when you're 5 years old and you pretend to be a spacecraft, and then all the adults are walking around saying, "Oh yeah, he's a spacecraft." No, he's pretending to be a spacecraft because it's fun. He's not actually a spacecraft. Am I in Crazy World or something? Is this Am I in crazy world? Um, I wanted to be a fire truck. I'm not a fire truck. For these people. Anyway, yeah, I've lost track of what, because I can't understand how crazy these people are. The schools have established protocols when it comes to transgender pupils, but the issue of furries, I don't think they're furries. This is a different thing. We'll come to that in a second. Is more complex. Is it simply a spillover from early childhood imaginative play? Sort of, yeah. Or the growing phenomenon of cosplay, in which participants dress up as superheroes, aliens, animals, or whatever they choose to be. No, I don't think it's cosplay either. Being brought into the classroom where children should be politely told to leave their fantasies at the gates. Yes, that should be like a key thing. You're meant to teach people how to do stuff, how to do maths, English, geography, history. You're not meant to pander to their lunacy. You just like, put the toys down, right, sit down, okay, let's focus and do some work. Is it childhood imaginative play? Yes, in a way. Is it cosplay? No, as far as I can tell. I think it's social media, which is giving credence to some bizarre ideology, and it's so many people are accepting it that you end up with a sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy here. Is it a mental health issue? I don't think so. I don't think the girl pretending to be a cat is actually mentally ill. I think she's just having fun and says, ooh, I fancy being a cat, and these adults are so wrapped up in their insane ideology they're not stopping me. In fact, they're providing me with a litter tray. Well, I'm going to keep going because it's hilarious. Is she mentally ill? No, I don't think so. She's just having a laugh. Is it a mental health issue used as a coping mechanism by children who have autism or other difficulties? Perhaps if it's transgenderism, I don't think the cat thing is, and who should be treated sympathetically in the same way as other pupils with special needs. Not really, no. Maybe with the transgenderism, yes. I think that's in many ways that's related to autism and special needs and should be treated as such, but I don't think pretending to be a cat, a lampshade, a dinosaur, the colour purple, or the abstract concept of courage is a mental health issue. I think it's just people having a laugh. Or does it conceal something much darker going on in a child's life? I don't think so. Tracy Shaw of the Grassroots Safe Schools Alliance said children coming to school and insisting on being addressed as animals should sound loud alarm bells. Well, it would do in the normal world. And teachers already have all the tools they need to deal with the issue. Yeah, they would if they were rational, but these people are incredibly hard left, and they are indoctrinated with this left-wing ideology themselves, so they happily ascribe to this lunacy. They have all the tools they need to deal with it. They don't want to, though. If they would stop conflating it with gender diversity, see, that has been accepted and it shouldn't be, because they're under the age of 18 and they're making irrational decisions which have got serious medical consequences, leading to sterility and loss of sexual function, and these teachers are happily clapping them along. These fools. I was a teacher for 10 years. It's a very, very left-wing organisation, and it's not fun. Teachers have a blind spot where anything involving identity comes in because they're far left. They should be dealing with this under existing safeguarding frameworks. They don't see it as a safeguarding issue, though. They see it as guaranteeing the personal autonomy of the child. Even if it's like a 14-year-old girl who turns up and wants to be described as a silver skull or something. If a child is coming to school identifying as a cat or a horse, that should immediately raise red flags. Not really. You should just say, quit it, sit down, open your book, and let's do some work. No, you're not a cat. Get off the table. No, you're not a horse. Stop eating hay and do some work, would you? But the teachers should be asking themselves, what are these children looking at online? They're looking at YouTube, basically. What forums are they on? Twitter. What is going on in the home? Probably nothing. What is happening in their child's life? What else is involved? There's a lot more about how teachers should be doing stuff, and obviously they don't want to because they're part of the whole problem. One pupil at State Secondary School in Wales told the Telegraph of a fellow pupil who feels very discriminated against if you do not refer to them as cat self. Yes. She added, when they answer questions, they meow rather than answer a question in English. And the teachers are not allowed to get annoyed about this. because it's seen as discriminating. Right. This is all these neo-pronouns. And it only takes one little issue in a classroom to derail the whole class. And you're trying to teach something. I taught law. You're trying to teach something like jurisprudence or the jurisdiction or barristers or solicitors or something. If you've got some kid in the class meowing, the whole class is just not going to function. You're not going to be able to teach anything. They're not going to be able to learn anything. And if this happens day after day after day after day, the whole program gets shut down. People can't pass exams. They can't go to university. They can't do things because of some self-indulgent claptrap where this kid's walking around saying, "Oh yeah, I'm Kitty the cat," and all the teachers are like, "Of course you are, my dear. Of course you are. Would you like a litter tray? Would you like some milk?" But what? I'll be like, shut up, open your book, do some work, stop calling yourself a cat. If you can't do that, you're going to have to go. You're just going to have to get out of the class. She describes how lessons could be completely derailed if a teacher attempted to get the child to reply to a question in English rather than meowing. Oh yeah, because that's just going to go so well in a class with some kid going, meow, meow. Really? Really? How's that going to work? I ask a question like, what's the difference between solicitors and barristers in how they qualify, and how you qualify as a solicitor or barrister? What would be the answer to that, Jessica? Meow. Meow, meow. No. I'm sorry, but no. This is going to take a lot out of lessons because people are going to spend the entire lesson talking about whoever is over there meowing to the teacher. So Jessica, what is the square root of 289? Meow. Shut up, Jessica. Go see the headmistress. The headmistress is going to send her back and say, I've got to accommodate some cat. And I'll be like, no, I'm not going to. They meow rather than answer a question in English. It's distracting. Of course it is. Ridiculous. Anonymous student, that's very telling. The student can't even give her own name. This insanity. Honestly, the pupil blames social media. See, the pupils know what's going on. It's social media doing this stuff. And it's influenced by accounts run by people who identify as trees and animals. Brilliant. The Telegraph spoke to a pupil where one student identifies as moon self, wears a cloak to school, and which is described by fellow people as like a Harry Potter wizard cape. Other pupils can't wear non-uniform items. Oh no! But moon self can float around with capes, with a cape on, and other kids can wear cat ears. See, it's just going to cause major issues. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with this claptrap, but I don't know. So I thought we'd look at a list of the neo-pronouns, so what you can be nowadays. People think you can just be he or she. Oh no, my friends. No. You can be an ant, if you want to be an ant. You can be an antenna. You can be, what else can you be? You can be the concept of the Arctic, the actual land mass. Is it land mass, the Arctic, or is it just floating ice cap? I can never remember which one's which. But you can be the Arctic, so perhaps you can let me know if you are the Arctic. Arson, an arson self. I mean, the concept of setting fire to something and being the concept of setting fire to something as the pronoun, and you expect me to call you that? That's a hard no. That's a hard no. Right? Bark. You can bark at yourself because you're clearly barking mad. You can be a bat, a bear, a bed. We're on the bees at the moment. You can literally be a bee self. You can be a beetle. You can be literally anything. Bovine, if you want to be. Let's pick some L's. You can be the concept of love itself, the abstract concept of love. You can be a loaf of bread. From the sublime to the rich. You can be a meadow. You could be. Can you be the moon? I'm sure you can be the moon. Yeah, of course you can. You can be the moon and the moon self. So do you think you're actually the moon, or our moon, a rock that satellites around a larger thing? Do you really think that that's your identity? Your mushroom. If you're a mushroom, shouldn't you sit around in the dark on your own, or in a small group of other mushrooms? You can be an orange. I mean, if you're an orange, can I squeeze you, or is that like something that would be bad? Probably bad. Passion, poor. What other lunacy can you be? You can be a star. I don't mean like a person on stage and screen, but literally a ball of nuclear fusion. Tappy cat. Oh, there you go. That's what I am right now. Tired. Also tired of this gibberish. You can be toast. You can be the concept of, well, not concept, the noun toast, but you are the toast. Tomato. Oh, see, it's just such utter claptrap. It's just, you can even be a number. Oh look, you can be an emoji. Brilliant. You can be an emoji right there. You can be burgers. Love it. You can be, what is that? Or even is that? I don't even know what these things are. You can identify as the emoji of McDonald's fries. I mean, if that isn't the future, I don't know what is. You're not even the burger, you're the fries. I mean, if you're going to be, try not to be the beta, try and be the alpha, be the burgers, don't be the fries. That's my motto in life, be the burger, don't be the fries. Alright, well let me know. Oh, I was going to show you furries. Oh yeah, before we go any further. So these are furries. These are people who dress up in complete head to toe, what they call fur outfits, I think they call them fur outfits. Or fursuits, yeah, fursuits. And as you can see, they're mostly canine mostly canine. I don't see many cats, but they run around in a fursuit, of course they do, and they say, is being a furry just a sexual fetish? No. So like with any other fan interest, there are sexual themes present. My answer to that would be, yeah, pretty much. I think it is, pretty much. It's very sexually driven. And you can have a persona. It's like your persona, but it's not. This, I don't know. It's postmodernism, isn't it? It's postmodernism where everyone's you can create any reality that you say. You can create your family. You can create your gender, your personality, whatever, and everyone else has to walk around and go, yes, you look like a rational bunch of reasonable people, and would you like to play a game of poker? No. Go down the pub? No. All right then. So let me know your thoughts about being a cat, and I will see you guys later.